Defy the system and reclaim your divine identity. What if the greatest truth about you was hidden not in the stars, but inside your very being? You weren't born to follow scripts or fit into molds. You were born boundless, a spark of the infinite. This video isn't about new beliefs. It's about uncovering what you've always known but were taught to ignore. Stay with us, because today we're peeling back the layers to reveal the power that's been waiting within you all along. The hidden truth of your infinite nature. You entered this world not as a blank slate, but as a radiant force, limitless and connected to the vastness of existence. Yet, from your earliest moments, a subtle machinery began to work, not with chains, but with whispers. It wasn't about locking you up, it was about dimming your light, convincing you to see yourself as small, predictable, and compliant. The rules you never thought to question, the beliefs you absorbed without a second glance, the ambitions you were handed, they weren't random. They were carefully crafted to keep you from remembering your true essence. Deep within, though, there's always been a quiet hum, a pulse behind your thoughts, a knowing that this life is more than the routines you've been fed. It's not a loud voice, it's a gentle nudge, a fleeting sense that you're meant for something vast, something unscripted. This isn't about adopting a new ideology or chasing abstract theories. It's about recognizing what's already there, a truth so innate it's woven into your very being. The systems around you, from classrooms to news cycles, weren't built to amplify this truth. They were designed to bury it beneath layers of doubt, distraction, and compliance. Think back to your earliest years. You were curious, open, a sponge for the world's lessons. That openness was your strength, but it was also a vulnerability. They called it education, but it was conditioning dressed in gold stars and report cards. Sit still, raise your hand, seek permission to speak your needs. These weren't just rules, they were the scaffolding of a system that trained your body to obey before it ever touched your mind. Over time, you were handed narratives about who you are, what's possible, what's real. These stories weren't yours, but you absorbed them because they came from trusted voices, teachers, parents, media. Not out of malice, but because they too were shaped by the same invisible framework. The result? You learn to measure your worth by external rulers, grades, approvals, achievements. You were taught to chase dreams that weren't yours, to fit into roles that never quite felt right. But that quiet hum inside never stopped. It's the part of you that stirs when you're alone, that questions the life you've been told to live. It's not a fantasy, it's a memory. A signal from the core of your existence, urging you to break free from the script. The moment you hear it, the illusion starts to crack. You begin to see that you've been living someone else's version of reality, wearing a costume that never fit. Your responsibility now is to listen, to question, to reclaim the infinite spark you were born with. A spark that no system can extinguish, no matter how hard it tries. The battle for your perception. The world around you isn't just a backdrop. It's a carefully designed stage built to keep your focus outward and your inner truth dormant. At the center of this stage is a biological marvel, a tiny pine cone-shaped structure in your brain, revered across ancient cultures as a gateway to higher awareness. They called it the third eye, the seat of intuition, the bridge between the physical and the eternal. Modern science calls it the pineal gland and reduces it to a minor player in sleep regulation. But its role is far greater. It's a receiver, tuning you into frequencies beyond the material world, connecting you to insights, visions, and truths that transcend ordinary perception. This isn't mysticism. It's biology meeting the sacred. Ancient traditions, Egyptian, Vedic, Taoist, knew this. carving its significance into their temples and teachings. Yet today, this portal is under siege, not by accident, but by design. Look at your environment. The water you drink laced with chemicals like fluoride, the food you eat tainted with pesticides and additives, the air you breathe heavy with unseen toxins. These aren't random byproducts of progress. They accumulate in your body, clouding the very organ that links you to your deeper knowing. Studies confirm it. These substances calcify the pineal gland, dulling its function, dimming your clarity. This isn't a conspiracy. It's a documented reality, ignored because acknowledging it would unravel the systems that profit from your disconnection. When your pineal gland is compromised, it's not just your sleep that suffers, it's your perception. You become less attuned to the subtle signals of your intuition, less aware of the patterns that guide you. The static grows louder, drowning out the whispers of your inner truth. This is why your morning cereal isn't just food. It's a choice that either sharpens your mind or fogs it. The toothpaste you're told is harmless? It's a slow drip of sedation. The constant hum of artificial light and endless notifications, they disrupt your body's rhythms, keeping you tethered to a cycle of reaction rather than reflection. The system thrives in this haze, where you're too distracted to question, too tired to seek, too numb to feel the pull of something greater. But even in this fog, your inner spark persists. You feel it in those fleeting moments, when a sudden clarity hits, when a gut instinct warns you, when you sense there's more to life than the grind. That's your third eye, still alive, still reaching out. Reclaiming it doesn't require blind faith. It demands intention. Start by clearing the toxins, choose clean water, real food, moments of stillness. Practice deep, conscious breathing to awaken your body's energy. These aren't just health tips. They're acts of defiance against a world that profits from your unawareness. As you clear the static, your dreams sharpen, your instincts grow louder, and your reality expands. You begin to see not just with your eyes, but with your soul, a vision that no system can control, no toxin can dim, and no distraction can silence.
Unmasking the invisible cage. The life you're living feels real, doesn't it? The routines, the expectations, the endless cycle of work, consume, repeat. It's so familiar, it seems natural. But what if it's not? What if the world you navigate daily isn't a reflection of your truth, but a carefully constructed stage designed to keep you playing a role you didn't choose? From the moment you could understand words, you were handed a script. Who to be, what to value, how to measure your worth. These weren't suggestions, they were commands, woven into the fabric of your education, your culture, your daily habits. The goal wasn't to empower you, it was to make you forget the boundless force you are. Consider the subtle ways this script took hold. As a child, you were taught to sit still, to follow the bell, to seek approval for your thoughts. That wasn't just school, it was training, conditioning you to prioritize compliance over curiosity. As you grew, the bells changed. Alarm clocks, email pings, social media alerts. Each one pulls your attention outward, away from the quiet voice within. The holidays you celebrate, the goals you chase, even the language you use, they're all part of the same design. Phrases like, "that's just how it is," or "be realistic," aren't neutral. They're anchors, tying you to a reality that serves the system, not your soul. This isn't about blaming anyone. Your parents, your teachers, your community, they passed on what they knew, shaped by the same invisible forces. But once you see the pattern, the responsibility shifts to you. The cage isn't made of bars, it's made of habits, beliefs, and fears you've been taught to call your own. It's the exhaustion of performing a role that doesn't fit, the weight of chasing validation that never satisfies. Yet beneath this, there's a stirring, a restless knowing that you're not the roles you play, not the labels you wear, not the story you've been told. That stirring is your essence, the part of you that refuses to be tamed, begging you to question, what am I beyond this script?
Breaking free starts with a single act: pausing. Step out of the rhythm of reaction. Listen to the words you speak, the thoughts you entertain. Are they yours, or were they planted? The system thrives when you're too busy to ask, too distracted to notice. But when you stop, when you breathe, when you dare to question the rules you've lived by, the illusion begins to crumble. You don't need to fight the world, you need to reclaim your presence. That presence, silent, steady, unshakable, is the divine spark no system can touch. It's the part of you that knows you were never meant to be small, never meant to conform, never meant to live a life scripted by someone else's hand. The body as a sacred vessel. Your body isn't just a vehicle, it's a living temple, a bridge between the infinite and the finite. Every cell, every breath, every pulse carries the intelligence of the divine, designed to perceive beyond the five senses. Ancient wisdom understood this. Your body was never a burden, but a sacred instrument, a vessel for the eternal. Yet the modern world has taught you to see it as a machine, to be pushed, punished, or polished, never as a partner in your awakening. This disconnect isn't an accident, it's a strategy to keep you tethered to a reality that dims your light. Look at what you're up against. Your food is laced with chemicals that cloud your clarity, your water carries toxins that disrupt your balance, your air is heavy with pollutants that dull your vitality. These aren't isolated issues, they're part of a design that keeps your body inflamed, your mind foggy, and your spirit subdued. Your gut, often called the second brain, produces more neurotransmitters than your mind, guiding your mood, your energy, your intuition. But when it's bombarded with processed foods, pesticides, and stress, it can't function as the sacred receiver it's meant to be. The result? You feel scattered, reactive, and disconnected from the deeper signals trying to reach you.
This isn't just about health. It's about sovereignty. When your body is weighed down, your consciousness struggles to rise. The system doesn't profit from your clarity, it thrives on your chaos. That's why healing your body is an act of rebellion. Start with the basics. Choose foods that nourish rather than numb. Water that purifies rather than poisons. Moments of stillness that recalibrate your rhythms. Every intentional breath, every mindful meal, every pause to listen to your body's signals is a step toward reclaiming your power. Your body wants to heal. It's built to realign, to restore, to awaken. Give it the space to do so, and you'll notice a shift, not just in how you feel, but in how you see. As your body clears, your intuition sharpens, your emotions stabilize, and your presence deepens. This is coherence, the alignment of body, mind, and spirit. It's not about escaping the physical, it's about embodying the divine. Your breath is more than air. It's a current, moving energy through your system, clearing blockages, awakening dormant potential. Ancient traditions knew this, building practices around breath to unlock higher states of awareness. When you breathe with intention, you're not just oxygenating your body, you're activating your essence, reconnecting to the infinite spark that lives in every cell. This is where the divine speaks, not in distant heavens, but in the rhythm of your pulse, the warmth of your skin, the quiet wisdom of your breath. Living as the divine expression. Awakening isn't a one-time event, it's a way of being. It's not about chasing fleeting moments of clarity or collecting spiritual insights. It's about embodying the truth you've uncovered, moment by moment, choice by choice. The divine within you isn't a concept to understand, it's a presence to live. This is where the real work begins, not in knowing you're infinite, but in walking through the world as if you believe it. The system doesn't fear your ideas, it fears your embodiment, because a person who lives their truth is untouchable, a beacon that disrupts the illusion simply by being.
Living as your divine self means letting go of the masks you've worn to fit in, the goals you've chased to prove your worth, the fears you've carried to stay safe. It's about choosing authenticity over approval, purpose over performance. This isn't easy. The ego clings to familiarity, craving validation, dreading discomfort. But the divine within you doesn't seek applause. It seeks expression. It asks you to speak with clarity, to act with intention, to move through life with a presence that reflects your truth. This presence doesn't shout, it radiates, shifting the energy of every space you enter, every conversation you hold, every choice you make. You don't need to declare your awakening, you live it. In your relationships, you choose connection over competition. In your work, you prioritize meaning over metrics. In your silence, you find depth rather than distraction. This is integration, aligning your actions with your essence, your words with your truth. It's not about perfection, it's about coherence, about showing up as the spark of infinity you are, even when the world tempts you to shrink. When you live this way, you become a mirror, reflecting back to others the divinity they've forgotten. Some will resist, uncomfortable with the light you carry. Others will be drawn to it, inspired to seek their own. This is your mission, not to save the world, but to be fully yourself within it. Every step you take in alignment, every choice you make from presence sends ripples outward. You become a living testament to what's possible when the divine is no longer a distant idea, but a guiding force. The world doesn't need more theories. It needs more people who embody their truth, who walk with purpose, who live as the divine expression they were born to be. You're not here to fit in. You're here to shine, to remember, to awaken, not just for yourself, but for everyone who crosses your path. If this journey has sparked something in you, don't let it fade. Take action now. Subscribe to our channel, Psychosophy, to dive deeper into truths that awaken your essence. Hit that like button if this resonated. Drop a comment below with "I'm listening" to join the conversation, and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update. Share this video with friends who are ready to uncover their divine spark. Together, let's keep the flame of truth alive. Join us today.